Okay, today we're going to be replacing this harness that connects the stator in the bottom of the engine there to the voltage regulator that's up there. From what I'm reading online, it's common for this harness to melt down if corrosion gets in here. This is a new to me machine, so I don't know the exact history of it. Pretty sure it's got an aftermarket voltage regulator on it already. Just because these wires are like that silicone type stuff, and I know that's not what Polaris uses, but this was all pretty corroded in here. So I'm pretty sure the cause, it was corrosion in here. So what we're going to do is I got this kit off of Amazon that's specifically made to basically cut this out and then add in your new piece. So it looks pretty stout and like it's gonna make the job pretty easy. We'll cut this side and do this side, and then we'll do the voltage regulator side. We'll feed it all through and connect it, and hopefully we're good to go. You can also see this is what was the telltale sign. I was riding it and I was getting smoke off the left side of the engine, and there really shouldn't be anything hot that would smoke on the left side of the engine. The right side of the engine, you got the exhaust, right? You get some mud on that or some leaves stuck in there, you might get a little smoke. But you shouldn't really be getting smoke off the left side of the engine. And that was all this plastic burning. So if you're not having this issue, you might want to split this harness apart, make sure it's clean, and get some dielectric grease in here. It might save you going through what I'm going through. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to snip back this harness a little bit and get rid of the old connector. We're not going to need that. Neither are we going to need that. Okay. So supposedly from what I read online, these are 10 gauge wires. Not sure if that's true or not. We'll find out. Appear to be. Then we're going to do the same on the connector that we're going to use on this side. We'll strip these back as well. Okay, so these are the connectors I'm going to be using. In fact, this is the first time I've ever really used a connector of this style. What's different about these is that silver band isn't a crimp, it's a solder. So as you heat this up, that's going to melt and connect the wires together physically. And then back here, this is a waterproof seal that'll melt, and then the whole thing will melt down onto the wires, making a watertight connection. Okay, so I couldn't find the propane. I'm going to use my heat gun. The connectors don't say what temperature to set the heat gun to, so I'm going to start at 500 and see what happens. Okay, so the 500 seems to have worked. It's in there. The solder's band has melted. I'm going to go ahead and do the other two. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna turn it up to the next heat setting. See if I can get it to go a little bit faster. Okay, we're gonna let those cool off, and then I'm gonna wrap them in a little electrical tape just for an extra layer of protection, and then we'll feed this through under the engine, and we'll go to the other side. Okay, so I wrapped each one individually with electrical tape, and then I thought to myself, how can I make this repair as big as possible? So I went and wrapped the whole thing in electrical tape. But no, seriously, this is down near the bottom of the machine. This is gonna get wet. Let's just wrap it up the best we can. All right, we're good. I'm gonna feed this through, and then we're gonna start on the other side. I don't know if I called this out, but this is nice. They actually put some heat shrink on here, just an extra layer of protection to keep water out, because apparently the water comes in through the backside from what I've read, which looks exactly like what happened to mine. If you look at the witness marks, it was all melted out on both sides where the wire goes through. Okay, on to the other side. Okay, so now we're on the left side of the machine where your clutch is. This is our wires here. Unfortunately, this isn't split loom. I could cut it back a little bit. Let's see here. This is already very, very long. Like I said, it's got an aftermarket one on. I may cut this back a little. We don't need all this wire on this side. But here's our other harness. I added that length on, and I'll show you why later. Okay, so because this failed due to water intrusion, I'm going to go ahead and put some dielectric grease in here, protect these terminals in case water does get back in there again. Just another layer of protection. You can buy this at your local car part store, your local hardware store, Walmart, all this. All right, so now we're gonna put this together, being mindful of that seal not pushing out. There we go. All right, so we got that together. Now, there's a little tab that goes on here. You can slide the original tab back on there, probably easier to do if they're apart. And then this clips into that hole down there on the frame, so you can reuse this piece. I'm not gonna do that. I kept this long because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it up here and zip tie it up high. Just give it a better shot to be out of water, because if water is what does this in, let's get it away from the water. So make sure when you thread this through under the engine, be mindful the drive shaft is there. You want to make sure you keep that away from there. So I'm going to go ahead and we will do that, and then we'll see if it all works. Okay, so I got it up out of the way. I've created some crazy loops here. Hopefully that doesn't cause any issues. I don't think it will. But that gives me like an extra 6-8 inches. This is up out of the water now. Less chance of it getting wet. Way more chance of it getting wet down there than up here. I usually try not to submerge my machines that far in the water. So we're gonna go ahead, start it up. Hopefully we have no issues and everything's good. Long term, I plan on replacing this voltage regulator. I don't care for it. I think it was an Amazon special, if you will. And I'm not crazy about that. So I'll probably buy a nice aftermarket one, which will help fix a lot of this and then give me a new harness anyway. But for now, we're gonna go with this. We'll start it up, test it, see how she runs. Our voltage is right at 14.6, 14.5 on a cold start. That's pretty much where we want it to be. I'm gonna let this run while I eat lunch and see if that gets hot or causes any issues. All right, so this has been running for about a half hour now, and everything feels great. This is really cool. Nothing's hot. I'm really happy with the repair right now. So I'm gonna call it fixed. You know, I did talk to my Polaris dealer, and basically they told me the only option for this on the Polaris books was to replace the stator and the voltage regulator. And if you use Polaris parts, you're at about $1,000. And if you gotta pay labor, it's probably another couple hundred on top of that. So this piece was about 30-35 bucks. I'll throw a link to it in the comments section. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable and it helped you out. Thanks for joining me in the garage today, and I look forward to talking with you again soon. Bye-bye.